Hi, and welcome to our second video of the 25 extra tips that we're going over here, the training that we're going to be doing we're going to be going over 5 of the lessons per video, so this will be like a 5 video series. And just wanted to kind of recap our last video. We went over the first 5 tips. Number 1 was take care of your hands. You know how important that is, very, very important. Want to keep them conditioned, keep them exercised, especially the wrist, because everything is in the wrist when you're holding chords or even playing solos, okay, so very important. Second one was your rhythm and timing. Make sure that you keep up with that. That's why I like playing with the recording or work with the metronome, whichever is best for you, because that develops that internal clock that you got to have, okay? Every musician's got to have that. It doesn't matter if you're playing solos or if you're playing rhythms. You know, you're playing solos, that's more advanced, so you really got to have that, okay? Very important, so work on that. Okay, train your ears. That's what I talked about, you know, your major scale. Okay, train your ears with the melodies, like I mentioned in the last video. Learn some melodies, you know, even like right now it's Christmas times, you could learn some Christmas songs. You can learn that stuff online or, you know, find it in books and stuff. Or if you need some help there, I can put some together and send that to you, okay? The fourth one was amp placement. Make sure that your amp is in a place maybe facing you so you can really hear what you sound like, okay? Because if your amp's facing away from you or it's not facing you, you're not going to hear it as well. You're not going to know what you're doing well and what's not you're doing well, okay? So work on that. And then, of course, I mentioned the major scale. I taught you that in the next lesson, or the last lesson, sorry about that, okay? That's a really good thing to know, that major scale. That's the foundation of music, so make sure you know that, okay? And play it all over the neck. That's really gonna help train your ears as well, okay? So now we're down to the next 5 lessons, 6 through 10, okay? Number 6, learn your favorite solos. That really helps you out with learning how to play, how to construct your own solos, is by learning how somebody else has constructed theirs. And there's a couple ways you can do that. You can go onto YouTube. Okay, you can work on some solos there, some people playing some solos there. I have some free video lessons on my website at dwaynesguitarlessons.com. You can go there, check that out. I put a new website together and I've got some stuff on there that's pretty cool. I also have a enrollment into a free intro to guitar email course that you can enroll in as well. It's a little bit separate what we're doing here, but if you already know the basics of learning how to play guitar, you don't have to do that. But you might know somebody who's interested in learning how to play guitar, and it's kind of an intro to learn guitar email training course. It works out pretty cool. So there's a couple of the ideas there. Or my suggestion else would be to get you one of these books, okay? These transcription books, okay? This one's on Aussie, but they have these for just about every kind of music you can think of. Any band out there, there's some nice got there. And these are great because they go with the CD, okay? And you can also buy books that have different artists and stuff. So there's all kinds of different ones. These ones are pretty cool because they give you the actual transcription of the recording. They usually have a little triangle here in the center with the guitar. I mean, on it. This one's a little bit different, but it says authorized edition from guitar. And note for note transcriptions, okay? Now, of course, you got to learn how to read this. And it usually gives you like a ledger in there on how to read it. This usually like a tablature explanation kind of thing here. As you can see, I've highlighted a lot of stuff. Some of these books give you a little insight into the artists themselves, how they play, you know, stuff like this. That really helps you to understand where they're coming from. And they make it pretty good where you can kind of look at how they play, how their solos are, kind of what techniques they're using, stuff like that. I've learned almost all my stuff I've learned from these books, and it's one of the reasons why I can teach, is because of my hours of learning from these books, okay? And so I would recommend starting there. That's a good place. Don't start with any solos that are too difficult. You know, just try some simple stuff. Find a guitar player you like and try some of their stuff. Try to learn some of, you know, look into how they construct their solos, and then that will help you with constructing your solos as well. And if you need help reading this stuff, let me know and I'll see if I can put something together for you, okay? Another thing here, okay, so that was number 6. Number 7 is to place to practice and focus. That's really important, okay? A place to practice. You got to really have a good place where you can focus on your studies, okay? A room somewhere that, you know, you can leave your equipment out and it's there and you can just study right there, you know. But if you got to take out your equipment and you set everything up every time you do it, it almost becomes a hassle, and half the time you just won't even do it, okay? So the best thing to do is find a place to practice where you can leave your equipment somewhere, you know, maybe in an extra bedroom or in the basement or something, where you can just pick it up and you're ready to go. You know, you got your music stand, you got your sheet music on there, or you got your computer where you can look at the videos, you know, whatever helps you to work, whatever way you learn. You know, so all different ways of learning, so whatever works for you, just set that up and keep it set up so that way when you go there, you can just pick up your guitar, turn on your amp, and you're ready to go, okay? I would highly recommend doing that. It'll help you to stay focused, stay on track, okay, with your goals. Remember we talked about that? Okay. And then number 8, don't press down too hard, okay? When you're doing your stuff, even if you're playing chords, this is mainly about, you know, the solos, but even with chords, you don't want to press down too hard. It'll cramp your hands up, okay? You know, when you're doing your solos, you don't want to press down too hard because it'll just slow you down, you know? You want to just press down good enough to, you know, get moving around the fretboard, hold the string. What's great about electric guitars, you don't have to press as hard as like when on acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitars, you really got to press down those strings to get any notes out of them. And they're good for strengthening your fingers. It's a good thing for that. I remember when I was younger and I had started playing acoustic guitar. I played acoustic guitar for a while and built up my strength without even realizing what I was doing. Then when I went back to playing electric, I was like, oh, look at this, really easy, you know? Piece of cake. So that's a good, you know, having acoustic and doing that is a good one. And I talk about that in some of the later tips, and we'll discuss that later. But for right now, we're talking about the electric. Don't press too hard. Just press hard enough to get the note and get moving on the next one, okay? It's very, very important. Okay, so let's see. Number 9, create different note configurations. This is a really good way to help you with your soloing too, is by creating different notes. So like, let's say we were working with that major scale that I taught you in the last video. Okay. And you're picking. Now if we use just you know, I use a lot of, you know, if you look at steady solos, a lot of people are using simple 3-note kind of configurations. You know, we changed that to these 3 notes. So as you can see, it sounds a little bit different. Plus these are good exercises as well, you know. Then you can just move them along the fretboard. Okay, just different ideas. Okay, just try some different ideas. See, there's just 3 notes, and if I move it, and sometimes when you repeat it, it sounds really neat. And then if you move it. So all I did was I just did a 3-note sequence, repeated it like 4 times, and then moved it up to the next fret. So not only is that good for training your ear, but it's also good for training your fingers. It gives you some ideas. And you hear a lot of this kind of stuff in guitar soloing. So when you listen to solos, you'll hear this kind of stuff. You say, oh, look at that, he's repeating that lick. That same thing. It's called sequencing, okay? So think of just different notes for ideas. Do it either 1 time and then move it, or do it 4 times and move it, or 2 times and move it. Just try different configurations, and you'll see these ideas start popping in your head, and you'll hear things that are in songs. You know, you say, hey, that sounds like that one song I heard. Because you know, this is how you develop your guitar playing, your soloing, and even with rhythms too. I mean, this is mainly about guitar soloing, but even with rhythms too. Okay, and then number 10, divide your time like you're in school. Okay. When you're learning an instrument, you really got to look at it like you're going to school. And I know going to school isn't always fun and everything, but that's what's neat about learning an instrument. We can do whatever we want. Learning the instrument is fun, okay? But what I mean by divide your time is look at different things that you want to accomplish and divide your time in accomplishing those things, okay? Practice really comes down into 2 things. You've got your knowledge that you're learning, something new, and then you got your motor skill development, okay? So spend some time on working on learning new things, developing new knowledge to put into your brain, okay? And then divide, say, okay, I've worked on that. Now let's look at developing the skills that we've already learned from previous lessons, okay? So if you divide your time into those two things, then you'll be more focused and you'll progress faster, okay? So that's our video on these next 6 through 10, and our next video will be 11 through 15, or 11 through, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 11 through 15. Sorry about that. But you know what I'm saying, okay? So work on that. Focus on that. Stay focused. Stay committed to what you're doing. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right? Take care. Until next time. See you later.